very
motivational.
And it is. He was very paranoid about the race war. Well, the black and white thing, that was something that he was paranoid. That he became more paranoid about later. But in the beginning,
this probably goes back to his prison life as well, right? I mean,
I think
it's very
it had something to do with it. And he does, in full disclosure, and Matt's in his own words, throws out the N-bomb a couple of times.
Quite a bit. And the whole thing, too. But basically, what he's saying is he gave an ignorant speech about what the desert was and what they could do for it. And that they took all this. Yeah. And then they took all of it and they used it. And I'm certain that there's... I just can't help but I just don't think Manson's smart enough.
He's not.
To have actually manipulated him. I think it literally just kind of came out of his mouth. And
That's right.
Yeah, because he was just trying to buy time.
He's not forward thinking enough.
No,
for anything.
Because his whole philosophy. Because he was talking about the whole time. His whole philosophy
today.
Now is the moment. Forget about tomorrow. Now. And so all he wants to do is keep having sex with 3 girls at a time. That's all he cares about.
Yeah,
he's just he's an idiot and a maniac. But he doesn't care about the violence. He just wants to get his dick sucked.
Yeah. And Bugliosi, he said that Manson had told them a local Hopi Indian legend in which there were 3 underground cities in California, one of which was in Death Valley, and the legend described a race of lizard people who 5,000 years ago built 3 underground cities, and Charlie supposedly told the family about an underground city of gold with a lake of life, which he probably did. Man, there's a city out there of gold with a bunch of lizard people, and there's an underground city full of gold with a lake of life.
Especially later on when you're trying to have to rebuild the story, and once you've blurted out the helter-skelter thing and how there's water underground, now you're taking acid, now everybody's hanging out. Yeah. He's desperate to keep the group together.
He should have told them how to spell it.
Yes.
He should definitely should have mentioned how to spell Helter Skelter. That would have helped.
Yep. And Charlie, he said the whole thing about the desert was that I love being out there, and so did some of the kids, the hassles we were getting from the police, my rap about possible troubles with the races, and the picture of a better place to live put the kids into a game for anything frame of mind.
So the kids are still like 17, 18 years old now.
What's that?
They've only aged a year, 2
years? Yeah. Right. I mean, I would say the average age...
How long have they been in the desert for now?
I don't know, 3 months?
Yeah.
3 months, okay.
Because it kept bouncing back and forth from the desert to Los Angeles.
Yeah, from the desert. And they also had another house in Los Angeles that they called the Yellow Submarine. They were in 3 locations at this point. They were going between the Yellow Submarine, Spawn Ranch, and the Barker Ranch out in Death Valley.
Because technically, he was also still, like, there is another attempt of him recording an album in this time period, and he sucked at it. And he just couldn't do it.
Yeah, he just couldn't do it, yeah. So as far as the songs go, in the White Album, there were a few. So I mean, you got to remember. Okay, Helter Skelter. Yeah, you listen to it. It's it's a fucking scary song.
It's awesome.
I mean, it's a precursor to punk.
It's great.
It's a fucking amazing song. But this is also a song on the White Album.
Yeah.
This is another song on the White Album.
Yay! Takes me back to college, man.
Yeah.
See, I did a lot of drugs for this album, and I'm fine.
Yeah. And it wasn't just, I mean, Obla Di Obla Da is a very, that's a very simple, easy song.
It's from Life Goes On.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. And there's other songs on.
And so now he started building all of the songs on the White Album into his philosophy.
He starts building them all together. And there are other albums on there like this. This song is, I mean, this is truly one of my favorite songs ever. Happiness is a Warm Gun, which this is a pretty dark song. And he said that Happiness is a Warm Gun was warning the blacks to arm against the whites in the coming race war. But Happiness is a Warm Gun is a fantastic song.
I think that's a good point, because if I know anything about black culture, they loved the Beatles. And they were all going out to get the newest Beatle LP as soon as it came out.
Yeah. And the one that they supposedly listened to the most was a song called Blackbird. And so Blackbird, they said...
This song, man, you can see it, man, every time I get fucking pumped up.
When I listen to Blackbird,
it's like,
mayhem. Fuck, man, like, I want to fucking take the system down, so let's fucking listen to...
Yeah, I want to get pumped up, dude. I'm going to take off my shirt.
Well, no, leave your shirt on.
Yeah, let's fucking take a listen to Blackbird.
Blackbird singing in the dead of night.
Fuck yeah! Let's kill some fucking people.
Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah, man.
If you play it really loud, it sounds aggressive.
I'm gonna stab a pregnant woman in the belly tonight.
Cut out the child,
Yeah, that's Blackbird. And Charlie believed that Blackbird was the Beatles telling black people that it was their turn to rise up into power.
Cool,
And
yeah.
that they were being programmed to start the revolution.
Definitely.
It's possible.
Yeah.
Absolutely, it is.
Yeah.
It definitely is.
Yeah, and another fucking song, a song
right.
called fucking Piggies. It was saying that there was a line of like, what they need's a damn good whacking.
Yeah, get the pigs.
Yeah.
What they need's a damn good whacking. It's the next track on the album. Here's fucking Piggies.
Is this NWA?
I'm not as pumped up by this song.
I like this one because it makes me think of warm pigs in a blanket.
Is it
I
sad
love
that
pigs in a blanket.
I close my eyes and I see myself like opening my mouth and tiny little pigs walking into my mouth?
Yeah. And of course, and Sexy Sadie.
We know,
they
Sexy
saw.
Sadie.
Well, they saw that as a sign that they were
was
in tune
talking to them.
because he had named Susan Atkins Sadie earlier that year.
Right.
So he thought, okay, this is something like this is how they're in tune with my fucking mind.
Yeah, synchronicities.
And Honey Pie was another thing. Honey Pie was my favorite. They said that Honey Pie meant the line, "Honey Pie, you're making me crazy. I'm in love, but I'm lazy. So won't you please come home?" That meant that the Beatles were too lazy to go look for Jesus and wanted Charlie to come find
And
them.
I
Oh,
wish
that
that
makes
Charlie
sense.
had went and showed up at the Abbey Road. I wish he had showed up.
Yeah.
He's been like, "Hey guys, you been calling for me, huh?
Yeah.
Hey, so you guys got any like free food or something? Hey, Paul, you got any maybe shoes or something? The way I lost my shoes."
Yeah, they would have let him right in. They would have loved him.
So in
Oh yeah, Charlie, come on in, absolutely. Oh yeah, look at the Beatles. Oh yeah.
It's a good one.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's a good accent.
yeah, that's
good.
Liverpool. Liverpudlian.
Liverpudlian,
as
yeah.
they call them.
Oh, Charlie, I hope you want to suck my dick.
You know, he probably would. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll take it. Yeah, why not?
Charlie.
Seems like all you got to
I'd
do
do
to
it.
get Charlie Manson to suck your dick is to ask nicely.
Yeah. He definitely seems surprised by the money.
Yeah.
That's for sure. Just got weird.
Absolutely, because he's just like, I don't know who'd pay for this.
That's
I'm not
big.
necessarily a professional.
Oh, whatever.
So in early 1969, the family's getting bigger, and they're also moving out to the desert. The only problem with living out in the desert is that you're a long way from supplies, so you have to buy supplies in a larger quantity.
And so he becomes obsessed with making dune buggies, and they steal credit cards. And
Going
he's
to
obsessed with these
Costco.
dune buggies.
yeah, dune buggies. It is his biggest obsession is dune buggies.
Dune buggies are very fun to play with.
They steal VW bugs and they convert them into dune
But
buggies
now-
because it's all a part of his desert plans. If we're gonna live in the desert,
Right.
we're gonna need some way to get around, and also dune buggies are awesome.
Dune buggies. But so at this time he's waiting for this money that's supposed to show up for his album. It doesn't show up. They have no money. They're running out of time. Basically he's trying to figure out what to do. So he's in his mind, Manson's like, I'm gonna have to go back to my old tricks. I'm gonna have to break my vow. I need to get back into crime.
Yeah, and so he starts hanging out with biker groups including the Easy Riders and Satan's Slaves.
Yeah.
The funny thing about Satan's Slaves is when the Manson family was first caught, the press named them Satan's Slaves because the biker gang was
And they're
involved.
like, hey
The
now,
pr-
hey, listen.
yeah.
I technically Satan Slaves is copyrighted. You can talk to our lawyer. This is Irv Schleichman, and he is our lawyer. I said, yes, technically the Satan Slaves is copyrighted. So if you please, we will
can have
sue
it.
for defamation of character.
Yeah.
My buddy here, Chains, has got to rape a woman at 1. So if we can get over this this meeting real quick, that'd be great.
So Terry Melcher, he comes back out one last time
He
to
films
take a
them.
listen. He films them, yeah.
And then his result was he said that it was mediocre.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
sure that it was. Yeah.
Yes, mediocre. So in June of 1969, Tex Watson, he fucks over a black 300-pound drug dealer named Bernard Lotsa Papa Crow.
Which was a mistake. He literally went and
Yeah,
just showed
lots
basically
of Papa Crow.
the way it goes down is that like Tex goes, steals weed. It's like weed and money from this guy,
So
right?
like
Good idea.
it's like $2,000.
Yeah, and so he leaves. Charlie gets a call just being like, is this Tex? I have this chick.
No, he said, "Is Charlie there?"
Yeah, 'cause his name is Charlie.
Like the girl, because Tex Watson was living with the woman in L.A. and she told him, and he's like, and Crow shows up and says, "Where's my fucking money? Where's my fucking drugs?" And she says, "Okay, let me call Charlie.
Charlie will fix
yeah,
it.
Charlie will fix it. But
Yeah.
remember, Tex Watson's first name is also Charlie. So she calls out to the ranch and she says, "Charlie, you gotta come help me." Except it's Charles Manson on the phone. He's like, whoa, what the fuck is going on here? The guy, Crow, the drug dealer, gets on the phone and says, "You get here, you get me my money right now, or I'm gonna fucking kill this bitch." And so Charles says, okay.
He goes.
All
he
right,
goes to
like,
a couple
One thing we know about lots of Papa Crow, he ain't messing around.
and he goes, and then Charlie literally goes to all the bikers hanging around and being like, so, like, any of y'all want to, like, come with me? Maybe help me? And they're all like, actually, I gotta shine my bike a little bit.
It's
I got a bunch of
amazing how
stuff."
busy people can get when lots of Papa Crow wants to murder you.
Yeah. And so he brings along a member of the family, just kind of a weak little kid, and they bring a gun along. And the DA says that Tex was under Charlie's direction to steal money from this drug dealer to start the race war.
Right.
But really, Manson's explanation sounds a lot more plausible.
Pretty plausible. Where
Yeah.
he basically just showed up. The whole scenario heightened. He showed him the gun. He was just like, he basically tried to trade his life. According to Manson, he tried to trade his life for the girl's life. He was like, I was trying to buy time. Let me go and get some money. I'll get you some money.
Tomorrow.
I'll get it tomorrow, blah, blah, blah. Lots of Papa's like, no fucking way. I want my money now. He's like, I'll give you 4 hours. He's like, no, fuck you. I'm going to give you 2 hours. And then finally, Charles Manson turns the gun on him. Lots of Papa's like, what are you going to do about it? Are you going to fucking kill me? He pulls the trigger, click. Lots of Papa grabs the gun, starts choking Charlie out, pushing him against the wall. Meanwhile, Charlie still got the gun in his hands, sticking it in his belly, going click, 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 and then finally, I guess there was 2 bullets in it. Bam! Shoots him in the stomach, and they fucking get the hell out of there.
Yeah.
Except he grabs he says he grabs one of his buddy's shirts, one of the enforcer shirts. He's like, I liked his doeskin shirt, and he was so scared of me that I asked him for it.
That's great. Charles is the man.
And he said that he felt no remorse whatsoever for it.
No, he was going to get killed.
Yeah, he said
then-
it was
what
in
are you gonna do?
self-defense. But what happened was later that night, and Charlie believed that he had killed the guy. He didn't know, because lots of Papa, he didn't die. He just bled for a while, got himself fixed up by some sort of criminal doctor, and never reported it to the police. But later on that night,
An HMO.
yeah,
Jeez,
Think about
well,
that.
I know what that's all about.
Start talking about healthcare.
Don't get us started on here in last podcast on the left talking about universal health
Well,
care.
we're going to talk some truth to power next week.
So later that night, Charlie's watching TV with one of his buddies, and he sees a news report that says that a high-ranking member of the Black Panthers had been murdered.
He's so
his
retarded.
body
He just-
dumped on the hospital's front lawn. So yeah, he just immediately thinks
Right.
like,
Assume
"Oh
that's
my
the
God, I killed a black person!"
Which is just like, that's such a high thought. That's such like a stone. Like, I know I shot a black guy tonight, and that black guy, he had to have been in the Panthers. Oh, this is
the only
me.
one.
This is me. It's me. I killed somebody.
Yeah, and so his paranoia kicks into high fucking gear because he now believes that the Black Panthers are going to come down on the family.
So he starts
Right.
now, like during this time period, he starts talking about this race war more and more and more.
Yeah, he
and
said the kids at the ranch caught the worst of my paranoia. So this